So I'm going to go back to my, they call it the sandbox. Apologize for that phone call. Alright, I'm going to search for Iron Guard Fire Hammer. There it is. So there's, and that's actually the icon underlayment. You see it right there as that red. So excellent. This is the guy we want. I'm going to click on Sandbox. This is going to copy it on down to our PC. Right click, show in folder. Here it is. I'm right clicking on it. I'm going to move it over to my staging area where I normally work on stuff, which is on my D drive and then AC SQL. So, where'd it go? It's a JSON file, that guy. Now, I do not use, or I don't work with JSON. I prefer to work with SQL files. They are, at least for me, much easier to read, and I've actually done SQL programming in my day job, so SQL is really easy for me to read. So what I'm going to do is get rid of that. So I'm going to fire up Harley Q's program, which is right here. We need Fab. I'm going to click on Convert and select, because we want this JSON file to become a SQL file. So I selected it, it was put in here, and then you click on Convert, and now I'm going to go to Open, and there is the file that I converted. So this old JSON file I'm actually getting rid of because I don't work with JSON. I highly cannot recommend you working with both. You either pick JSON or SQL. For my opinion, SQL is way better. The ACE emulator will handle both JSON and SQL though. So anyways, here we have our lovely hammer. This is the same stuff that we saw on lifestone.org, but just in a different format. This is written in .NET Core. Other than that, I can't really speak a whole lot. This is what I would call the advanced way to edit things, because there's no lookup tables in here that tell you what does what. Like UIFX fire, like you'd have to know that 32 means fire. So, and there's an easy way to look all this stuff up. It is in this webpage right here, ashrunscall.fandom.com wiki int. Every single one of these integers is represented. So property like number 9, so this would be locations, equipable slots. You click on that, and then this tells you exactly where everything is. But just between you, me, and the wall, I never really mess with half of this stuff. So I know the weapon, the imbued effects, really good, and a couple of the other ones. But okay, moving on. We need to add some spells. So what I'm going to do is fire up another version of WeNeedFab, and I'm going to open up. I did a hammer. There it is. Not too long ago, and I try to be consistent in the spells that I put on both. So this Iron Guard Crusher is just a bludgeoning hammer, and here we have the other one. I don't know if I can make this. Yes, there we go. So we need to add some spells. I always add, this is going to be a fire rendering hammer, so I always add in major fire, or is it called flame ward? Yes. Click on that. Probability is always going to be 2, the number 2. Don't ask why, I don't really know. There you go. 2, I guess, means it's always on. That's how I interpreted it. Minor health gain, I add that. I'm basically just looking over here and doing the same stuff, because this is going to be a set. I like the sets to do all the same, same things. And no, I have not put in legendary stuff yet. At least for these type of weapons. Epic strength, and last but not least, epic heavy weapon aptitude. Add. Okay, now the template The old one can go away. And excellent. Okay. I'm going to click on Save. What's nice is when you fab, immediately it looks at what you have, the number. Let me cancel. It looks at it builds the file name using the number here and whatever this thing is called right here. So I click on Save. It's the weenie ID and then the actual what the item's called. So I'm going to click Save. Yes, one already exists because that's the one that we're working on. So yeah, that's fine. We want to replace this all the time. Alright, I think that is about it as far as making this thing. I'm going to close out. And then the third method is to actually go in and modify the text, the SQL file yourself. For instance, you can come in here and you can do everything that we did on the other interfaces, but if you look here, it gives you no help. You're on your own. But I like this because if the items are all going to be very similar, you don't have to go back and change every single value again and again and again. You make a base item like this, and I can take this and, for instance, I'm going to do a file save as. This is my next one. I think is lightning. Yes, so it's going to be an iron guard, a lightning hammer. So now I just did a file save as, and now I need to change the WC IDs to 62. And then I would also need to change the imbued effect, which, why not? Let's do that. Imbued critical effect. This one's lightning, so we add 1 and 2. Electrical rendering, so it'll be 259. So here we are, the imbued effect. Instead of that, it's 259. And lightning rendering. Now, it's important to note that these numbers right here, sorry, not numbers, these symbols, the slash star and then the star slash, anything in between here is a comment. And SQL, whatever database engine you're using, will ignore it. So you can put in as many notes and comments as you want, and SQL will simply ignore it. Yes, you do multiple lines, it does not matter. Alright, so that's basically, I just changed the imbued effect, and I have a whole lot more to do on this guy. So what I'm going to do is save, but I don't want to finish it right now. This is just something I do in development, INDIV, just so that I don't try to copy this out to my server and then try to import it when it doesn't, when it's all totally not what it should be yet. So I think this guy is good. Let's put this guy in action. I'm firing up Asheron's call.